Okay, guys, welcome. We are in day 2 of our 60-day challenge. Day 2 of our 60-day challenge. So, today we're going to be learning to make this stop on the screen, how to draft pattern. Like I said, we are in day 2 of our 60-day challenge. So if you didn't watch day 1, go ahead and watch day 1 yesterday. We started yesterday. So we are waiting for more people to join so we can go ahead and start. Okay, we are waiting for more people to come in. Let me see if the volume is high enough. Okay, day 2 of our 60-day challenge. Like I said, we're going to be learning a lot of different things, a lot of different patterns. Things that you will love to create, things that you learn on how to go about it. So today is day 2. Like I did said, we're going to be doing a challenge, 60-day challenge. In these 60 days, you're going to learn on how to create different type of patterns. Right? When we are done with the challenge, we can start sewing those things we've just created. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is to draw a straight line. Remember, always a straight line when you want to start. A straight line is your guideline, making sure everything is straight and good to go. I'm gonna draw my straight line right there all the way to this other end because we're going to be needing it too. All the way to this other end, making sure it is as straight as possible. All right, once we are done drawing the straight line, the next thing I want you to do is to make sure that I start putting my measurement. I'm taking my time to show you on how you can go about it step by steps so you will not have to get confused. Any part I mention, make sure that you also follow it up. All right. And if in case you don't understand anything, let me know. Let me know. I will stop and explain it up to you. First measurement we're going to be using is our shoulder measurement. So what I'm going to do right here on this line that I've just drawn is going to be my shoulder measurement. This is going to be my guideline as well, my shoulder measurement. I will go ahead now, take my shoulder measurement, divide it by 2. My shoulder measurement is 14. Divided by 2 is going to give me 7 inch. I'll mark that up. You know the shoulder is not straight, so we need to slant the shoulder down by 1 inch. I'm going to come here and slant my shoulder down by 1 inch. Once I'm done slanting it down by 1 inch, I will move now to my armhole depth, which I will be using 7 inch. So round armhole divided by 2, or you take round bust divided by 6, then you add 1.5 inch to it. If you take round armhole divided by 2, or round bust divided by 6, then you add 1.5 inch, you're still going to get the same measurement as if you divided round armhole by 2. For example, if you're working on a client, somebody that just sent their measurement and you don't know how to go about it, simply maybe they send you the bust measurement, the under bust, the waist, so you already know that how to get the armhole depth line is by dividing round bust by 6. Then you go ahead and add 1.5 to it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and connect these points up, following up this my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I want to do is to go ahead and I'm going to connect this up like that with another line here. After that, what I have here is just a straight line. We're going to go ahead now, create a basic neck depth. Like I said, a basic neck depth for now. All right. I'm going to be using 3 by 3 inch. How to get this measurement is by taking highest part of your neck, divide it by 6. It is always good for you to take this measurement, the round neck divided by 6. Okay, so you know exactly what you're going to be using, because some people mention 3 by 3. 3 by 3 may not really work for you like it worked for me. 3 by 3 may work for you, but it doesn't work for me, depending on the project you're working on. So I hope that part is clear. So once I'm done doing so, I am going to go ahead and connect this part up like this with my French curve ruler. And I'm also going to roll this point up like this. Okay. Okay. We are done connecting the neck depth and the neck width. We are also done connecting the armhole, shoulder depth, the shoulder slant, okay? We've just slant the shoulder down, the shoulder slant or the shoulder slope. Now, what I'm going to do is to take this point here, from here to here, and divide that by 2, which is 7 inch divided by 2 is going to give me 3.5. Okay, let me check something. Yeah, my network was kind of slow. So I'm going to take this point up here, divide it from here to here, divide it by 2. Did I say 3? No. Divided by 2. Sorry, it was a slip of tongue. I'm going to go in now by 3/4 inch. You can go in up to 1 inch. All right. We are done with this part. I'm going to come here on this chest line, take round bust, divide it by 4. The round bust I'm working with is 34. Divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. I will mark that up. I'm going to go ahead, connect this point to here, from this to this. Connect those 3 points together, like so. You can use your free hand, you can use your French curve, all right? Now, let me do this, like this. Okay, once I'm done doing so, the next thing I want to do is to go ahead to start putting from the shoulder to the under bust, from the shoulder to, from the shoulder to bust point, from the shoulder to the under bust, from the shoulder to the waist. You know, this top is a fitting one, so you need to get this measurement correct so that everything should fit perfectly. All right, give me a minute. My phone, it seems like the network is, guys, can you hear me? If you can hear me, say hi. It seems like the network is slow, eh? Or not, maybe. Because the tablet is showing that it's kind of, let me go out. Let's see, maybe it's the tablet. Let's see. I said it. Yeah, the network is slow. Hi, okay. I see that maybe it's the tablet. It's kind of a little bit slow, but anyway. So, like I said, if you don't understand anything, you can always let me know the comment section. That's why I have to put my tablet here, so I'll be able to see what you people are actually commenting. So now I'm going to measure from the shoulder to the under bust. My bust point is 10 inch. I'm going to go ahead and mark that up from my shoulder to, shoulder to the bust point, shoulder to the under bust, which is 13 and a half, and shoulder to the length of this top. Okay, I'm going to normally my half length is 16 inch. I will use let's just use 18 inch plus 1 inch of the allowance. Once I'm done doing so, I'm going to make sure that I connect these lines up, these points up with the straight line right there, right here, making sure everything is good and straight, and do the same thing here. Okay, now that we are done doing so, the next thing we want to do is to be able to put the nipple to nipple measurement. Bonne chance. See Dieu the nipple to nipple measurement, or the bust span separation, whatever you call it, it is good to go. So mine is 7 inch divided by 2 is going to give me 3.5. I'm going to go ahead and also mark that 3.5 right here. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I want to do is to go ahead now, connect it up with a straight line all the way straight downward to the length. After doing so, what I'm going to do is to create up my dart. To create the dart, what we normally do is by taking round bust minus under bust. Round bust minus under bust. For example, like I said, this top is supposed to be, it is a fitting one. It's supposed to be fitted at the body. Okay, so round bust minus under bust to get the exact measurement of your dart you'll be needing. So my round bust is 34. My round under bust is 29. So if I take my round bust minus, round bust is 39. So if I take my round bust minus under bust, so 34 minus 29, I will be left with 5 inch. That 5 inch, I'm going to go ahead and divide it again into 2. So 5 divided by 2 is going to give me 2.5. 2.5 again, I'm going to divide it again by 2. All right. So, like I said, round bust minus under bust to know the exact dart you'll be needing. For me, my small size, I always go ahead and use 0.25 here. Sometimes I use 0.25 here. Sometimes I use 1 inch here. I don't know how you're falling, my friend. Stand here. So sometimes, like I said, sometimes I can use 0.25 here, and sometimes I use 1 inch here, depending if you're going to be padding it or not. Okay. Sometimes you can even use ½ inch here. You use 1.5 here. Like I said, depending on if you're going to be really padding it. All right. So for my size, normally I always use 0.25, 0.25, or highest is 1 inch, 1 inch both sides. All right. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to come here at the bust point, go down by 3/4 inch. If you're that bossy, you can go down up to 1.5 inch. I'm going to come here like this. I will do 3/4 inch. Like I said, I always do 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch both sides. I'm going to repeat the same thing here, 3/4 inch and 3/4 inch both sides. Then I'm going to go ahead at this point and connect it up like this. all the way to that 3/4 inch. We went down like this and like so. Okay, then I'm gonna bring it up like this from here to here, and from here to here. Okay, but remember that whatever you borrowed from here, whatever you borrowed from here, whatever you borrowed, you're going to replace it back, because if not, it's going to be small. I bought a sewing machine on Amazon. By that time, it was on discount. That was about, I think, 420 or 320 euro. All right. By that time, it was on Amazon. It had discount. So I'm going to come here and measure up whatever I have from here to here, which is 4.025 divided by 2 is going to give me 4.025 is going to give me 2.2 right there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and connect this up like that. I bought this on Amazon. It's heavy duty 432. This heavy duty, is it 32? Yeah, or 44, something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, but it should not be less than that, because if you buy the one that it depends on the how strong it is. So if you want to get 432, you can sew everything with it. Okay, anything, you can sew everything on it. So I've just connected these lines up. Next thing you want to do, you can create up a shoulder dart. Okay, to create a shoulder dart, what I normally do, just to come here like this, you go out by 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. Now reconnect this up to this point, and we'll also reconnect it up to this point. All right, like this. Look at what I'm doing here, and look at what I'm doing here. All right, this is what we have, our shoulder darts. All right, now what I'm going to do is to go ahead. I'm going to, depending on where you want the top to end. Okay, in some cases, if you want to, you want to really show out everything, you could just even end on the chest line. But me, I also love to go up here by 1.5 inch, 2 inch. Somebody was asking me if you could go up by 3 inch. You can definitely go up by 3 inch, like I said. All right, I always go up by 1.5 inch. Is good for me to go. Then I'm gonna draw these lines up like this. Right. From my chest line, I went up by 1.5 inch. Now, this is what we're going to do. What I want to do here is to come here. I'll be creating up a dart here from the center line here. All right, you can choose to use the same thing that you use here, 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch both sides. Remember, you want to be able you want to make it in such a way that by the time you put on this top, it's not going to be, some people, like when they sew it, by the time they bend down, everything's kind of showing. So you want to hold it up so that everything should be fit together. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do, let's just say 3/4 inch. Like I said, 3/4 inch. You can choose to do 1/2 inch here. All right, you can choose to do 1/2 inch here, then 1 inch here. But I'm going to do the same from the center line, just this point. Now, we are going to go on here, depending on how deep you want it to be. You can come here from this part, okay? You can go down by 9 inch. 9 inch. This is just below the chest line, all right? Or you can even go down up to the bust point line, or you can go down by 9.5 inch, okay, which is about how many inch from the chest line, which is about 1.025 from the chest line, depending on how deep you want it to be. Now let me get this. What I'm going to do from this point here, you can choose to go up here by 1/2 inch, or you can just connect it up from this point, okay, from here to here. You can choose, like I said, that's why I use that word choose, to go up by 1/2 inch, or you can connect it up from the bust point line. I'm just gonna do so. Why are you going up? It's just because you want to create an ease around there. Why should you go up by 1/2 inch? By 1/2 inch, just to create an ease around there. All right, now that we are done doing so, the next thing I want to do is to go ahead and bring this up here like this, making sure it gives me that curve I'm looking for. All right, from here to here. You see what I've just done there? Now, to be able to join this part up, this top, you don't want it to be, kind of choking you at your armpit. So what we normally do at this point is you will come here at this part, except you want to use the yoke of this, except you want to use the yoke. But if not, you don't want it to be choking you at your armpit. So what we normally do, sometimes I come down by 1/2 inch, sometimes I even come down by 1 inch. All right. So at this point, I'm going on to 3/4 inch. 3/4 inch. Now, I'm going to place it up like this. This measurement that I have here, which is one round bust divide 8 by 4, which is going to give me 8.5. I am going to go ahead and connect these points up like this all the way to that point. Look at what I'm doing here, making sure everything goes in the way I want it to be, giving me that curve. All right. When I get here, what I'm going to do is kind of just blend it up. But we're going to do that when we add up this small tiny measurement there, because we need to add it up. Now, I am going to go ahead and put my measurement. I had already put 1/4 of my bust measurement, but I did measure up whatever we have here, which is about 3/4 inch. We're only adding this here, not this one. We only add this part here, 3/4 inch. All right, 3/4 inch. I'm going to replace that up. And now I will need to add my 1 inch for the sewing allowance. I will always prefer that you add this 1 inch on the, when you're cutting it on the pieces, so that each part is going to have that sewing allowance. Because sometimes we just add it up here. By the time you stitch this up here, you notice that it is not really at the center. So to avoid that, what I normally do is to go ahead, instead of adding this allowance here, I will just use my measurement. Then when I'm cutting this on my fabric, I then go ahead and add up. You can add 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch at the center, 1 inch here. Okay, this way you're sure that you have added up, and when you stitch it, everything is going to centralize. I hope I'm clear for this. All right, now that we are done with this part, let's come here. The round under bust I'm working with, 29. 29 divided by 4 is going to give me 7.025. Yeah, 29 divided by 4 is going to give me 7.025. Am I not mistaken? Yeah, this is 29. Yeah, it's 7.025. just to be sure of it. I just go ahead and divide it up like this, and come here and divide it up like this, 7.025 hours. Just to be sure, I wasn't sure. So I'm going to come here and mark up 7.025. But remember that we have marked this up. We've not replaced up whatever we have here. What I have here is 1.5. I'm going to go ahead and replace that up. So I'll add up my 1 inch of allowance. Okay. Now come on the waist. Round waist is 28. Divided by 4 is going to give me 7. We'll replace back that 3/4 inch we took. 3/4 inch, 3/4 in both sides. Then we add 1 inch for it. So allowance. Okay, this is what we have done so far. All right, this is what we've done so far. Now we're going to go ahead and connect this up. Let's see from this point. Ooh. I used to have one ruler there. Okay. From this point, okay, that's what I've just done. I'm going to go ahead now, connect this part up from here. You need to have it in a slanted way. Bring it up here, like that. Now that we are done with that part so far, I hope you're following up, okay? I really hope that you are following up. I'm going to come here like this. You can go up, look at the design. You can go up by, let's just say 3 inch. 3 inch is going to be too long. Okay, so I'm going to go up by 2.5 inch from here. From here, I'm also going to do the same thing. I'm thinking, yeah. So, yeah. Connect this up like that. Okay, so let me first of all go ahead and connect this up like this. You can mark up the center of this point. What I will advise you to do is to kindly go ahead, fold this up, because sometimes, you know, when we cut up this dart, you'll notice that there's a part that is shorter. So to avoid that, you can fold this up like this. Then you go ahead and connect up anything you want to connect. All right, I hope I'm explaining myself. So this point, I'll have to go down again by 1 inch right there. 1 inch. Now you're going to mark, assuming that we're going to connect this up like this, from here to here like this. From here to here, if you check there, you'll notice that at the center is being it has a kind of, it goes, where can I even put it? You have a kind of a U at the center. You check, right? And you need to make it tiny, because this part here is going to be on fold. This part here is going to be on fold. So by the time you do that, making sure that when you do that, when you open it up, you have one full piece. I'm looking for something that to explain. But anyway, you just follow up whatever I'm demonstrating, whatever I'm explaining. So I just connect my dart here and do the same thing here. And if you check, what we're just going to do is to go ahead and connect it. But I think that I'm going to go up again more. I wanted to go up by 3 inch. I went up. Let me just do 3.5 inch. This is kind of on top of the, yeah, here, like this. So what I'm going to do to connect this part all the way to the center, you need to mark up the center point, this part here like this, okay, to give it that small tiny shape we are having at the corner. All right, So so like I said, we are going to go ahead and fold it like so. I'm going to come here like this. Make sure to have that small tiny here. You can mark at least 3 inch here. But remember that this is going to be on a fold. By the time you open it, you're going to have, if you mark, no, 3/4 inch. What I was even saying, 3 inch way. Mark 3/4 inch. By the time you open it up, you're going to have at least 1.5. This is it. The center is going to come like this, all right, from both sides. Okay, now you see what I've just did, right? Now if I go ahead and cut it, you see that it's going to be the same. Let's go ahead and cut this up. Now you need to level them up, 1 here and 2 here. I always do so that by the time we are doing this, it's going to just match up. Now before we go ahead and do so, we are going to go ahead and draft up the back on this same piece. Okay, that is why I make my pattern longer. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly separate up the back from the front. All right. Okay, so now we have to separate the back, which I've just started here. That's it. So I'm going to start here. I'll be drafting the back like this inward. Now what we're going to do is shoulder measurement is 14 divided by 2 is going to give me 7. I will slant it down by 1 inch for shoulder slope because our shoulder is not straight. Move now to the armhole depth, which is 7.5. If you don't know how to get the armhole depth, divide round balls by 6. Then you add 1.5 inch to it. I'm going to go ahead and connect these points up with a straight line, making sure it is as straight as possible from here. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect this up. Now I will go in by the neck depth. Normally is a normal basic neck depth because the back is just going to be straight. So let's the basic neck depth is always 1.5 inch deeper by that 3 inch for the back always. You see what I've just done there, right? Now I'll connect these points up like that. I'm going to connect my shoulder slope. I will measure out whatever I have here and divide it by 2, which is 7. Divided by 2 is going to give me 3.5. I'm just going to go ahead and mark my 3.5. Right? 3.5. And remember that the back, normally if you're working on something that you need to add sleeve, the back neck depth is, the front is always deeper than the back. But in this case, we're not going to be needing that. But if in case, normally what I always do is just go in by 0.25. I always go in by 0.25. For example, if the front I went in by 3/4 inch, for the back I always go in by 0.25. I'll put 1/4 of the bust, which is round bust divided by 4. 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. I'm going to come here, making sure. At this point, it's going to be a little bit tricky because this one is kind of very tiny. So I'll first of all connect from that point. Then I'll just go ahead and bring it up here. What some people do is they just connect it up from the back here. All right. Now, the back we don't need bust point. We're going to go ahead and mark from the shoulder to the underbust, from the shoulder to the length that we used was 19. Then we later added 1 inch to it, making it 20. We're connecting it up like that with straight line, like this too with another straight line. Okay, after which I've done this, so you want to put the nipple to nipple. Nipple to nipple, 7 inch. Divided by 2 is going to give me 3.5 inch. Connect, mark and connect that up with a straight line. Now, like that, we're going to go ahead and use our dart of 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch both sides. Remember that this is the back we're working on. 3/4 inch here and 3/4 inch both sides. Okay, we need to connect this part up like this. But I'm going to do it here so that it should be fitted at the back as well. Like this. You're connecting it directly to the chest line. Like that. And like so. In here. Now that we're done doing so, we're going to go ahead and put 1/4 of our measurement, each of our measurement. Round bust is 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. I'll be adding up 1 inch to it for the allowance. Round under bust is 29 divided by 4 is going to give me 7.025. I took 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch, making it 1.5. Then I'll add 1 inch to it. Round waist is 28 divided by 4 is going to give me 7, plus the 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch, making it 1.5, plus 1 inch. Once we're done doing so, next thing you're going to do, the back is straight. You need to connect it straight, right? If you notice, when I was connecting the front line, I did connect it up like this. But for the back, we need to connect it straight. Now, this is what we have. We are still going to go ahead and do the same thing we did. Come here. We finally went up from this line, we went up by 3 inch, making it from here, we are supposed to go up by 4 inch. I hope this part is clear. Right? I'm taking my time, so you guys should go ahead and understand it. So from here, I'm going to go up by 4 inch. Remember, you need to have the same length like here. Now, you want to choose how tiny you want it to be. Here, you can do 1 inch. The other side, I think I did 1 inch. Remember, if you do 1 inch, by the time you cut this, you're going to be having at least 2 inch at the center back, okay? But you still need to add up the zipper allowance. So this part, I fold my dart inward so that at least when I'm connecting, because when you do this up, you don't connect that up like that. By the time you cut it, you notice that there's one part that is shorter, so advisable for you to do so. You can make yours more pronounced. You can make yours more deeper. You can just go, I'm not even following it. You can just level it up. This is the center back, okay? This is 3 and here is the 4. Now, if you notice that we've not added up our zipper allowance, okay? You don't add up the zipper allowance. What first of all I'm going to do is to come here, cut this off. And take note, this is pepper scissors. Normally, I was supposed to leave at least 1 inch before starting it from there. And I'm supposed to go ahead and add all my zipper allowance. Where do I even have that glue? Pepper glue. Ooh. Now, we have to come here because the back, we're not starting from here, but instead we're starting from here. I'll add up 1 inch for the zipper lines. 1 inch, 1 inch. Okay, I'll go ahead, connect that point up with straight line. My 1 inch all the way to here. Connect this up like this. And like this. Now, what I'm going to do is to be able to fix this up so that we're not our zipper will not be gaping behind or puffing, because sometimes like that, you see somebody will put on this top like this, you notice that the zipper is what I have there is 12 inch. Just simply measure up whatever you have, 12 inch. From that 12 inch, I'm going to go in by half inch. Now, from the half inch, what I'm going to do is just to connect it up like that. This way, we are going to avoid the zipper from gaping behind, like that. All right. We have something like this. Remember, 1 inch is for your zipper allowance. And then here, this is the center back. If you want it to be a little bit slanted, you can come here and go down. If you like the shape like this, if you want to leave it straight, you leave it straight. You can go down by 1.5 inch. I always do 1.5 inch. Slanted, okay? If you don't want it, you just leave it up like that. So this is what I always do. Just connect it up from this point all the way to here, like that. Bringing up from here all the way. You see? You see what I've just did there? All right, it's time for us to cut. We are going to cut this off. Cut this off. You can make yours more deep if you want to. You can make it more tiny here if you want to. It's just up to you. It is just up to you. Right? And I already did mention about zipper. I did not mention maybe if you wanted to add, but loops. You want to make sure that the side here is matching up with the side of the front. Now, if I cut this off here, right? You'll notice that this part here is matching. Sometimes, if you don't fold it, or by the time you cut it, you notice that one part is shorter than the other. So normally, go ahead and increase that up. Let me keep this and I'll use this for something else. Okay. I can patch this off and use it for something else. Oh my goodness, Adita. Yeah. Is it just me? Oh, I don't want to go ahead. You see how beautiful this is coming out already without us even stitching that up. Okay. All right. Now, if I join here and join here, you notice that it's matching right there. So this is the front. All right, remember this part here is supposed to be cut on fold. This is the front, and here is the side, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is the side here, which shows that the side is even still longer, which is not supposed to be longer. There's something we did wrong. Here, this matches up. Now, if you check here, this part here is kind of longer than the front. This part is supposed to match up. So I have to go ahead and just place it up like that and reconnect this up from here. Making it, and I'm going to make it more deeper now. All right, this is the 4. This is the side that's supposed to match up, and this other one like that. You see what we've just did there? We have our pattern ready to go. So let me kindly flip the camera. You see what we just did so far. This is it. So I hope day 2 was interesting. You learned something from it. Day 3 will be tomorrow. I hope to see you guys very soon. Like I said, we're going to be doing a 30-day challenge. You're going to learn a lot things that people will show you. They will not show you for free, but I'm showing you for free. Okay, so hope to see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. See you. Bye bye. Bye bye. See you all. Yeah.